right, Tamil Nadu is living up to its reputation, viewers, of changing governments after every 5-year interval. The counting of votes show opposition DMK is way ahead of AIADMK, with party chief MK Stalin and son Udayanithi leading in their respective seats. DMK is leading in over 130 seats and AIADMK has leads in over 95. After the early trends, DMK workers were seen celebrating outside party headquarters and Chennai and violating social distancing norms. In 2016, DMK had won 97 seats while AIADMK had managed to bag 135 seats, and now it's role reversal. All right, viewers, like I said, it's DMK now which is back in the straddle to lead the state of Tamil Nadu for the next 5 years. MK Stalin has now crossed the halfway mark, leading his party, paving way for MK Stalin to be the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu.
Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin is the Talaiva of Tamil Nadu, the next Chief Minister of the state. As the results poured in, celebrations broke out at the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam headquarters.
Though Election Commission claimed no celebrations owing to COVID-19 protocol and various other issues, DMK carers are seen bursting crackers right in front of an arterial road, and they claim that they are unable to control their joy as they are expecting a massive victory after 10 years.
But the DMK would have been hoping for a lot more to celebrate. The party was 100% sure they would sweep the election, but EPS hasn't allowed that to happen. Here are the big takeaways from the Tamil Nadu state of war. The DMK has won. Stalin is the next chief minister, but they haven't ensured a landslide victory. Edappadi K. Palaniswamy has reason to smile. He has successfully pitted himself as Stalin's contender, and this despite a huge anti-incumbency that the AIADMK was facing. Another positive for outgoing Chief Minister EPS is that TTV Dinakaran hasn't fared well, so any chance of the Manargudi clan making a comeback into the AIADMK has been more or less ruled out. Meanwhile, Kamal Hassan's Makkal Needhi Mayam hasn't fared well in this election despite the film star's best efforts.
The fact that he's proven himself to be a leader at the grassroots, his administration doesn't have massive anti-incumbency against him. I think that's one factor. Despite the optics of being this number 2 leader to the central government and not standing up to the central government, I think at the grassroots, his administration seems to have got some kind of validation from the people and his leadership too.
The AIADMK has put up a spirited fight, and for MK Stalin, this will mean that he has a strong opposition voice during his first chief ministerial term.
DMK has not got sweep because of the factors of caste dynamics, I would say. And number 2, also probably the last few months of COVID work that was put in by the incumbent government, it worked in their favor. And also, I would say, most importantly, the organizational level work of the DMK or any other, both ADMK and DMK, that has played an important role.
The DMK has for now good reason to celebrate. They've made it as the number 1 party of Tamil Nadu. MK Stalin will be the next chief minister of Tamil Nadu, and he will now have to prove his worth as the people's new Talaiva. Bureau Report, India Today.
In breaking news, in keeping up with all the theatrics of what has been the election of West Bengal, the TMC says that the counting on the seat of Nandigram is not complete, and the Election Commission has announced their result without actually counting the last round, and the last round results are still not out. This is a claim made by the TMC. The TMC says that the Election Commission needs to take back that the seat has been won by Suvendu Adhikari and recount because the last round was not counted for. This is how dramatic it has gotten, viewers. Let's take you to the trajectory of this breaking news. Earlier on, through the course of the day, Suvendu Adhikari had been leading. However, Mamata Banerjee closed the gaps in the last few rounds and then was leading. It was declared Mamata Banerjee had just about won by a margin of 1,200 votes where Suvendu Adhikari was concerned. However, Mamata Banerjee herself came out in that press conference just about 10 minutes ago and said, I haven't won. The Election Commission has retracted my win and has now said Suvendu Adhikari has won by a margin of 1,957 votes. I concede defeat, but I will approach the Election Commission on the confusion. And now, the theatrics of it all is, viewers, and the TMC says that the last round was never counted at all. That the seat of Nandigram is still open, is what TMC says. They are now asking the Election Commission for a recount because they say the last round was not counted. So where does the seat of Nandigram stand? Well, right now, the EC says, viewers, that Suvendu Adhikari has won with 1,957 votes. The TMC says you haven't counted the last round. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments. Like I said, it's been a historic election to cover as well, and coming down, closing in just like the election campaign was, full of drama. We're going to keep a keen eye on all the details coming in, but let's get you the latest on what's happened in Kerala. It's the left once again. Pinarayi Vijayan scripting history.
Kerala has never been a safe haven for politicians. Netas are bound to be thrown out after every single term. That's the way it's been for over 4 decades, but not this time. Pinarayi Vijayan has scripted history. The state has not re-elected a government for 4 decades and more. That's right, 40 years and more. But Kerala's incumbent chief minister continues to hold on to power, returning with a thumping majority.
ലോക ചിരിദിനമാണല്ലോ. രാഷ്ട്രീയ ചരിത്രം തിരുത്തി കേരളം വീണ്ടും ഇടതുപക്ഷ ജനാധിപത്യ മുന്നണിക്ക് അനുകൂലമായി വിധി എഴുതിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ഈ സന്തോഷമാണ് ഇന്ന് പൊതുവെ പങ്കുവെക്കാനുള്ളത്. പക്ഷേ ഇത്തരമൊരു വലിയ സന്തോഷം ആഘോഷിക്കാനുള്ള സമയമല്ല ഇത്.
The Pinarayi Vijayan-led Left Democratic Front has easily crossed the magic number of 71 to form the government. Rahul Gandhi's dive into the ocean, conversations with school and college students, his rides in auto rickshaws, nothing seems to have worked for the Congress-led UDF. They made it nowhere close to making any mark at all. Kerala continues to be a political wilderness for the BJP. Despite an intensive campaign by Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, the BJP continues to struggle. Voters have appreciated the Kerala government's handling of the COVID crisis, from its preparedness to tackle the second wave to free food schemes during the pandemic, which continues till date, taking care of daily wagers. The election was fought in Kerala, but its repercussions go well beyond the boundaries of the state.
Pinarayi Vijayan-led LDF has created history as he becomes the first sitting chief minister to get a second consecutive term in the history of the state. What's even more joyful for the left party is the fact that they managed to close the loan account of BJP in the state and ensured the Saffron party did not get any access to any of the other constituencies in Kerala. For the UDF, it's certainly time to introspect as they suffer one of the most embarrassing defeats in the history. With camera person Tinguraj Shekaran Gopi Krishnan in Thiruvananthapuram for India Today.